Welcome back, episode 21, y'all. It's Christmas up in July up in this piece, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Episode 21, we're going to be talking about the future of South Atlanta real estate and the trends to watch for as we continue on in 2024 into 2025 in the future. I'm Tyler Willis Photography, kicking it over. Payton, what you got going on?
Yep, I'm Payton Peoples with Payton Peoples & Company, Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners.
I'm Megan Mulvey with CrossCountry Mortgage here out of Peachtree City.
Ooh, and I'm just going to dive right into it, guys. Here lately, I have photographed so many homes in these kind of neighborhoods, and it's kind of trippy because I'm always like, man, I really like this, and it's so nice and quiet, and I know why. Because one of the trends that are going on here in our market is that we're having these areas pop up for a specialized age, like an age-focused kind of communities, 55 older. Like there's some stiff rules in some of them, no pun intended there. But they have some rules in these places that like you just can't. Some of them don't even allow grandkids to sleep over at nighttime. So it just depends. But I'm starting to see that as a big trend is those 55 and older communities. How about you guys?
Yeah, so I mean, just a couple of years ago, we had a new community like that open up in our area here in Peachtree City, and now they are in the process of opening up one in Noonan as well. So it's called Crestwind here, and it's by a nationwide builder, but they're usually pretty large communities, and they usually have a very active amenities center.
Yes.
So that, as of 55 and older communities are typically reaching that retirement age, they're looking for other things to do to fill their schedule. So they usually have very active, at least in our area, pickleball competitions and all kinds of different activities and things for them to do. So if that's something that you find yourself in that age range and you want to be in that type of active community, those types of areas are extremely popular right now.
And the fun thing about the one over here in Noonan, I live just a few miles from it, so I know where it's at. Right across the street, the Harley Davidson store.
Nice.
So it's
you can
perfect.
Go get your motorcycle.
It's right there, baby. Oh, I can't wait to see what all happens as soon as that one fully opens. It's going to be awesome.
So, and that one just started. So they just started taking contracts and stuff. So it'll probably be the beginning of next year before they really start moving people in.
Yeah. Another trend I'm starting to see, and it's twofold to me, but I like it. This depends, but smaller single family homes and townhomes are on the rise. So I'm starting to see that a lot. I'm starting to get a lot more requests to go photograph townhomes. So I'm seeing that a lot.
I would say that's probably a lot to do with price point too.
Yeah.
In those types of situations, they're probably cheaper, and especially if you're in that's your first time home or whatever, then that's a good stepping stone to at least get into home ownership.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. What do you think, Megan, as far as the lending side?
That's what I was going to say. Usually we see that more of with younger couples or even older couples that don't want a large house payment. They're going to travel or whatever, especially in Florida and Alabama, where they buy a lot of lakefront or beachfront houses. They don't want a big place to manage. So, but especially right now with the cost, like you said, and the interest rates, I mean, for a lot of families just starting out buying a house, I mean, that's the way in is to buy a smaller house or a condo or a townhouse.
Right. And that hasn't been necessarily a trend or available really in our area, but there's more things and options starting to pop up as time goes on, and the city is starting to approve things. I think as a general consensus, everyone's starting to wake up to the idea that these are needed, these types of housing options are needed, and governments of course have to approve all of these types of things before they're allowed to be built, and that's a whole process within itself, but we're starting to see plans for those types of things show up more often than not in our local area too.
Another trend that I'm starting to see too is a lot of going away from large nationwide builders. We all know who we're talking about here. So a lot is moving away from those larger kind of builders to more luxury spec kind of builders and more localized builders. So how about you guys? Do y'all see a lot of on the rise of that, or is it more of like, no, we go into these communities that are these massive chain builds?
I would say it's kind of like 50-50 because those customized builders, you're either a customer that wants that active lifestyle with that type of neighborhood, and with that comes a non-custom home. Like, you can customize some things, but it's very limited as to what you can choose, versus you don't care so much about the amenities package or being in that type of environment, and you would rather have a completely customized home out in the middle of nowhere on your own land so you don't have to look at anybody. Like, you're literally dealing with two different types of people. So in that case, it's more about what their end goals are. And what I'm seeing a lot of is people who are wanting to build like family compounds.
Yep.
Like, they want to buy land, and they want to have enough land to where they can build 3 or 4 houses on it, spaced out, so that grandma and grandpa and their kids can all have, sisters and brothers, or all aunts and uncles are all on the same property, which is very interesting because it's definitely more of like the homesteading movement rather than a lot of what we've seen in the past of just every man for themselves when it comes to raising your own family. So it's a very neat movement to see. It hasn't quite caught on in our area yet, but our area doesn't really have the land for that. So I definitely see that as being something that's going to be more popular, probably more south of us where more land is available.
I mean, just recently we had a big news article that came across where a lot of people are trying to find houses that are close to their moms. And so, like, that goes right along with that whole mindset of, like, people, originally when we graduated college, we wanted to move far away. But now that we've seen the world, it's like, well, it's kind of nice to have the family around a little bit. Be like, hey, can y'all babysit this weekend? Like, that's a huge reason why I think that's on the rise too. So, like, plus, like,
just
having
send
to
a text message and be like, sending my kids over.
Yes. Or like taking, and also like with them aging, we have to take care of them too. So like, if we're closer, that's easy to run over there and take them whatever, or be like, hey, we have to start looking for those kind of nursing homes for them, and we want to be close so we can visit. So like that's I'm seeing a lot of that. This one's age old to me. This is like a huge one. There's still a large focus on the kitchen. And so homes, like, that's one of the first things that people upgrade is their kitchen. And so that's still an added value onto a home. And so there's still a huge focus. And even though that's a trend of, the last 20, 30 years inside of, home ownership, is that continued trend of the kitchen as the focal point.
Absolutely. Well, and not only that, but having, an updated nice kitchen is great, but really focusing more on how to make it more of the entertainment spotlight of the house, so that it becomes an easy way for you to entertain and it not feel stuffy or broken off from the rest of the house, so that people are truly wanting to come in and blow out walls and, make everything as open concept as possible, so that when they host people in their home, it really feels like one big space, not just, well, come stand in my tiny little closed off kitchen. So
I want to blow ours out.
Right. Yeah. Like it's that's what she said.
Zinger.
You can't take us anywhere. But yeah, no, that's the whole, that's everyone's main priority. The first, if I see somebody who wants to make some kind of adjustment to a house, it's typically the kitchen first, followed by the bathrooms.
Yeah.
So which both you're going to get a great ROI on. And speaking of money, a lot of people want to know specifically in Georgia, like, what does the housing market predictions look like? Look, we don't have a crystal ball, and we don't pretend to, and we don't know what the hell's going on. Your guess is as good as ours. But Forbes, you can trust them, I guess, says that right now, like that right now, typically in all of Georgia, so not just specifically, so we're talking the entire state, a typical house price is around $330,000. A year ago, it was $315,000.
Okay.
So we're making progress, right? But 5 years ago, it was $199,000.
What?
So that's a huge jump. And then when you're closer into our area or closer to the metro area,
It's even more.
I'm willing to bet that those numbers are much higher.
Yeah.
So just take those things into consideration too, because, we keep saying this, real estate is the best investment that you can make. But as time goes on, these numbers are just going to continue to get higher and higher and higher. And it's going to be, which side of this are you on?
Mm-hmm. Bingo. But trend wise, I mean, it's always buy dirt. If you can, buy dirt. Go ahead and buy a house. If you can, is buy something that you have to do a little fixer up or two. That way that you could put in that new kitchen, put in that new bathroom. Huge ROI. But like trends come and go. Colors are hitting, colors are out, whatever. But like the biggest trend that will always be there, get you a house. Because in a couple years,
homeownership.
The equity that you built in, you could take a mortgage out, you could take out a loan on it. Like you can do so much more as soon as you start owning property. So that's always going to be the biggest trend in real estate.
And that's the thing too. Like we haven't seen a decrease since whenever the recession was. So I mean, just every year prices keep going up. So I mean, God help us when interest rates do come down. If you can't buy the house now and you're waiting, or you just want to wait till the market, whatever, levels out, that people think it's going to happen magically, but you're going to be competing, with 50 other people for a house that's $50,000 more next year. The house is just $450 this year. And then next year it's going to be $500,000, but the interest rate's going to be lower. And there's going to be 50 people trying to buy the same damn house. Bingo. I mean, it's going to be a mess. So, yeah, I mean, real estate's, like I've said 1,000 times, is never a bad investment. So, that's why we're all here too.
Exactly. But make smart choices in real estate. Don't be house poor. Like,
yeah,
right.
No,
that's why
I won't let you.
Yeah,
exactly. But some lenders will.
Some will.
We all know some of those lenders. So,
yes.
But again, that's why you get plugged in with your local experts that help take care of you and all your family matters. Like Payton's going to sit down with you and get to know your whole freaking family and like in and out. Like she's going to spend that time with you to make sure that whenever you buy the house, it's the right house for not just but you, but it's going to be for your kids,
your whole family,
the whole family, your dogs. Like I mean, everything. So
everything. They all matter.
Everybody matters. Anyways. But that's right there. That's episode 21, the future of South Atlanta real estate and all the trends to watch for the remainder of 24 and 25. So But guys, it's been so fun. Stay tuned. We got lots more coming out every Tuesday. You can always hit it up on the YouTube and the podcast channels, wherever you listen to your podcast. We're out there on all the things. Keeps going out to more every day. Whatever shows up, it gets pushed out there too. So, but that wraps up this episode, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.